doesn't seem relaxing to me or to my neck. That's not relaxing. Other people think they have to drive miles and miles and miles to sit on top of some mountain to relax. That's not relaxing to me. As a matter of fact, driving is very stressful. Driving is so stressful. If you take somebody from the 1800s and you put them in a car today and they're driving down the highway with you, they'll probably have cardiac arrest seeing the cars coming at you. But we've adapted to that, so we don't look at it as stressful. Here's something that's very relaxing and something you can do every single day, and it's one of the greatest tips I can give you for your health that we've seemed to miss, especially the men. The men seem to miss this one. But I can tell you it's probably one of the greatest things you can do for your health. It's one of the greatest things you can do for your marriage. It's one of the greatest things you can do for just about everything. But it goes against just everything that we think about and we want to do. It's called going for a walk. Going for a walk. See, the thing is, we think we got to go on a walk only to do something. We can't just go on a walk to do nothing. No, we need to go on a walk to relax. Walks are relaxing, aren't they, women? They're relaxing. I used to always be against that thinking. I used to say, the only way I'm walking is to go get something or do something. If I'm walking to go nowhere, I'm just wasting time. And that used to be quite stressful. But now I can tell you one of the most stress reduction things I do in my life is taking a walk. It's amazing. The way I started doing it was I had a dog, and I used to walk with a dog. And that was very stressful. But I got rid of the dog, but now I keep walking. So if you see a stray dog, but it's really, seriously, one of the greatest things we need to do is just get out and go for a walk. We work too much. It's a great exercise walking. The fellow I know is 107 years old. You know what he said is one thing he does every day? He goes for a walk. Very early in the morning, he's up walking. So that's a great time to go for a walk too, is early in the morning. Another thing you could do to relax is, remember, relaxation is the opposite of things that stimulate you too much. Another thing is something I found out recently, which very few people my age or my friends in Brooklyn won't even recognize me if they hear me saying this one. Listen to classical music. I now find it to be one of the most relaxing things ever. It's amazing. But unfortunately, most people today find hard-hitting, fast-moving, pulsating music to be relaxing. And it might be something we've adapted to, but it's very stimulating, and we get adrenal fatigue by doing that. So especially the rate of speed we're dancing to when we're listening to that music doesn't help our adrenal exhaustion. So we need to keep those things in mind. And there are some other things that, there's one thing I do, and you don't have to buy things, but there's one thing I bought that really helps. It's called a chi machine. Basically it's on the floor. It shakes my leg back and forth, and it's very relaxing. It keeps my oxygen flowing in my body, and it's just very relaxing. So there's other very relaxing things out there. We want to do the things that are going to help us reduce the stress, and we want to avoid the things that are going to make our life more stressful, because it comes down to sleep. I wrote a book called The Formula for Health, and the key to the formula for health was making sure we give ourselves enough time not to sleep, just like I'm talking about. But the problem is, when you eat foods that make your body work harder to get less, it's a big problem. The key to health is this, from a diet standpoint. Eat the foods that make your body work less, but give you more. Eat the foods that give you more nutrients, but make your body work less to require it, to digest it. The foods that you have to work harder to digest, they give your body less are the foods we should be avoiding. And number one thing is, don't eat at nighttime, because that's the hardest thing to digest our foods. So, we need to make sure that we're doing something that a lot of people don't understand. There's two things I noticed about all the old books I read. One of the things is cancer. In the book by Dr. Dale Lewis from 1870, a book about health, a big book about health, guess what word I didn't see anywhere in the whole book? The word cancer wasn't mentioned in the book. We have to understand how far we have gotten in 120 years, 130 years, how far we've gotten away, and how bad a condition we're in today. Another thing is moderation. A lot of people use the word moderation like it's their friend. Well, I'm just going to do that in moderation. I do not like the word moderation. Moderation can mean a different thing to everyone. I know somebody who never had a drink of alcohol, and drinking in moderation for him would be 1 sip. I know somebody who's an alcoholic, and drinking in moderation for him might be a 6-pack. Because what he dictates as moderation is, well, I'm not getting tipsy, so I'm a moderate drinker. So we can't just go by how we feel and what's moderate to what we think. What we need to do is practice temperance. Temperance in all things, but especially when it comes to diet. And temperance in our food is just not eating more than our body needs. Figuring out what that is for us each individually. And I'm not here to point to everyone and say this is the exact amount for everyone. But I am telling you, the majority of people today are overeating, and we need to eat much less. So we have to understand that. So we have to practice temperance in all things, especially blowing that horn. We have to practice that temperance, and that's when we can start putting this together. Now, there's 3 stages to the daylight diet. We're going to go over, and I just want to go into some other examples. But before we do any of that, I want to ask everyone to please stand. We're going to do a little exercise first. First thing we're going to do is one of the greatest exercises we can do, and I'm so happy the windows are open. One of the first exercises, everyone, breathing is so important, but we don't breathe enough. Everyone, I want to see your chest rise. Everyone take a deep breath. If you're not going to buy my book, hold it. If you're going to buy my book, let it out. Okay. Okay, so we need to breathe more. The second thing is we need to stretch. Everyone, reach as high as you can for the sky. Now this is how I'm used to seeing everyone in New York. Okay. Okay. Everyone stretch out there. Okay. Okay, now you can put your arms down. Okay. The next thing is smiling is so important. Smiling is one of the most important things we can do. People do not smile enough. So I want to see everyone smiling. That's good. Because when I came in here tonight, I was a little worried. All right, that's good. Everyone smile. Don't worry, we'll be going home soon to sleep. So, not to eat. Okay, there go the smiles, right? Okay, so we have to understand, when you smile, you feel better. When you stretch, you feel good. When you take a deep breath, you feel good. But the problem is we can't always go by how we feel. Because how we feel sometimes can make us do certain things, but sometimes how we feel cannot really is not a true way of what we should do things. For example, the divine laws of nature sometimes go different than how we feel. All right, everyone take a seat. Everyone take a seat. When I'm in New York, people say, where should we take it? I say that there, we end up with an empty room. Okay. If they take their seats. Okay. Oh, but here's an example. We can't always go by how we feel, because how we feel is not always true. An example. Everyone, close your eyes. Close your eyes. All right, honey, get their purses now. Just kidding. Don't feel for your pocketbooks. Okay. Here's an example. Everyone, point north. Point north with your eyes closed. Everyone, not some of you. With your eyes closed, everyone point north. Okay. Now, keep your hands up, but open your eyes. Okay. So some people feel different than other people about where north might be. You understand? Okay, you can put your hands down. Some people are there, some are there. What we have to understand, how we feel is not always what the truth is. How we feel is not always what the truth is. And a lot of us might not feel right about what I'm telling you here tonight. A lot of you might not feel, well, I'm a nighttime person, I don't feel that I can go without eating food at night. But some people might not feel they can go on 2 meals a day. Some people might not feel that this will work for them. But how we feel is not always what's best for us.